Elon Musk has long championed electric vehicles as the future of transportation, but Toyota may have just thrown a major curveball. The company has unveiled a groundbreaking engine that could potentially disrupt the EV landscape, one that, believe it or not, runs on water. That's right, water. This bold innovation could pose a serious challenge to Musk's electric ambitions. But is it really possible for a car to run solely on water without traditional fuel or charging? And could this technology truly threaten the dominance of electric vehicles? Stay with us as we explore the latest developments in automotive technology and break down everything you need to know about Toyota's revolutionary water-powered engine. And before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on the most exciting tech updates. In Toyota's words, "I just want to build better cars regardless of the powertrain." And with this latest concept, a vehicle powered by water, they're doing just that. Here's how it works. Using a sophisticated process called electrolysis, the car splits water into hydrogen and oxygen. It then uses the hydrogen to fuel the engine. When the two elements recombine, they generate energy to propel the vehicle, and the only byproduct is water vapor. No emissions, no pollutants, just clean air. This breakthrough has the potential to significantly reduce carbon emissions and fight climate change, offering a more sustainable way to drive. While electric cars have been leading the green revolution with zero emissions and renewable energy charging, Toyota's water-powered innovation introduces a completely different approach, and it could redefine the future of eco-friendly transportation. Unlike electric vehicles that rely on batteries and need to be plugged into the grid, Toyota's new concept runs on something far more abundant: water. Even better, the electrolysis process that powers it can use renewable sources like solar or wind energy, making the whole system even more eco-friendly. And while producing and disposing of EV batteries can pose serious environmental challenges, Toyota's water-powered car avoids that issue entirely. According to Hiyoki Nakajima, Toyota's executive vice president and leading tech visionary, this innovation represents the future of mobility. Speaking at a recent event in Japan, he revealed that Toyota's ambitions now go beyond just building cars. The company is evolving into a mobility provider, aiming to offer people diverse, sustainable ways to get around. Nakajima wasn't alone in making the announcement. He shared the stage with Takahiro Kato, who heads Toyota's electric vehicle division, and Matsumoto Yamagata, the leader of the hydrogen development team. With their new manufacturing facility set to launch, Toyota is already working on hydrogen fuel cell vehicles that combine hydrogen from onboard tanks with oxygen from the air to generate electricity, a clean and efficient way to power a car. At the core of Toyota's water-powered vehicle is an innovative device called an electrolyzer. This clever piece of technology converts water into hydrogen efficiently and safely. It doesn't demand a lot of energy to operate, and best of all, it emits nothing harmful, just pure water vapor. Unlike most hydrogen-powered vehicles that rely on large, bulky tanks to store hydrogen, Toyota's innovative design skips the need for heavy storage. Instead, the car's electrolyzer produces hydrogen on demand, making the system more lightweight and agile. But to make this work, the engine needs a bit of a transformation. The fuel injectors, those tiny components that deliver fuel to the engine, must be modified to handle hydrogen. The engine block and cylinder head also need reinforcement, as hydrogen combustion generates intense pressure. Even the valves and spark plugs receive special upgrades to ensure safe and reliable operation. We'll dive deeper into the technical details later, but here's the key advantage. Toyota's water engine outperforms traditional hydrogen engines. Why? Because storing water is far simpler than storing hydrogen. Hydrogen, being a gas, requires expensive, high-pressure tanks that are not only bulky but can also pose safety risks due to potential leaks. Water, however, is a liquid, easy to store, safe, and doesn't require any specialized equipment. This makes Toyota's water-based engine a versatile solution from everything from compact cars to massive trucks and even power plants. Its straightforward design and enhanced safety features give it a clear edge over other technologies. Plus, it offers a major benefit for the environment by reducing our dependence on fossil fuels and lowering harmful emissions. It's a major leap forward in the journey towards cleaner, greener energy. Here's an interesting twist, though. Toyota isn't the first to explore this idea. The concept of vehicles powered by water has been floating around for some time. In fact, long before Toyota entered the scene, others had already attempted to harness H2O as a fuel source. It turns out this bold idea has a fascinating backstory. Get ready for some jaw-dropping stories about water-powered cars. Back in 2008, a Japanese company named Genesis Facts made waves when it claimed to have created a car that ran entirely on water. No gasoline, no diesel. It sounded revolutionary: cheaper fuel, cleaner emissions, and a happier planet. The company claimed its car used an advanced system to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, then burned the hydrogen to power the vehicle. But there was a catch. When experts took a closer look, they discovered the car couldn't operate on just water. It required an extra component, a material called metal hydride, to function. So much for the water-only miracle. Led by Jenna Pack, Genesis Facts never provided concrete evidence, and the scientific community remained skeptical. Physicists pointed out a key issue. Water is incredibly stable, and separating it into hydrogen and oxygen demands a lot of energy. You can't just extract energy from water without putting a lot in. It's like trying to squeeze juice out of a rock. And this wasn't the first time someone tried to sell the dream of water-fueled cars. Back in the 1980s, an inventor named Stanley Meyer claimed he had built a dune buggy that could run on water. It captured public imagination, but he never delivered verifiable proof, and in 1996 he was charged with fraud. Jenna Pack's claims started to look eerily similar, raising red flags among critics. Then, in 2002, a company called Hydrogen Technology Applications came forward with a device they dubbed the Aquagen, which supposedly split water to power cars. Initially, it was used in welding applications, but they soon claimed it could be applied to vehicles as well. Scientists, however, weren't convinced. Eventually, the company admitted the system didn't actually power cars on water. It merely improved fuel efficiency. Also in 2002, a company called Genesis World Energy emerged, claiming they had developed a device that could extract usable energy from water. They managed to attract a flood of investor money, but the promised car never materialized. By 2006, the company's CEO, Patrick Kelly, was behind bars for fraud. Then in 2008, the same year Jenna Pack was making headlines, a Sri Lankan singer named Tushara Reliat stepped into the spotlight. He claimed to have driven a car 190 meters using just 3 liters of water. The story caught fire, and even Sri Lanka's Prime Minister voiced support. But the excitement quickly faded. Tushara was arrested for fraud, and his claims were exposed as just another exaggerated tale. Fast forward to 2022, and an Indonesian man named Ariano Mikhail made headlines with a new invention he called the Nakba, a device he claimed could convert water into hydrogen fuel. According to him, it could power a motorcycle for 500 kilometers on a single liter of water. He even claimed that major automakers like Lamborghini and Ferrari were showing interest. But scientists in Indonesia quickly debunked his claims, stating the technology defied fundamental laws of physics. As for those luxury car brands, they weren't actually involved. Ariano's story, like the others, began to unravel as yet another bold promise lacking real evidence. With so many false starts and fraudulent claims, it raises a provocative question. Is someone intentionally suppressing the development of water-powered vehicles? While there's no solid proof of a global cover-up, there are certainly compelling reasons to believe it's possible. The fossil fuel industry is a trillion-dollar powerhouse, and a working water-fueled car could completely upend their dominance. These corporations have both the financial muscle and influence to resist any threat to their bottom line. Consider this. Oil companies might actively sow doubt, spread misinformation, or lobby against disruptive technologies that challenge their control. And then there's public perception. New ideas like water-fueled cars often seem far-fetched. Let's face it, using water as fuel isn't easy to grasp. Concerns about feasibility and safety can spark skepticism, leading to resistance from both the media and the general public, which slows down innovation before it has a chance to prove itself. Powerful players in the energy sector may even be fueling public fears to maintain control and keep revolutionary ideas like water-powered cars buried. Whether it's an intentional cover-up or just a string of bad luck, the vision of cars running on water continues to face setback after setback. Picture this: behind-the-scenes misinformation campaigns quietly spreading doubt and anxiety about new technologies, making people second-guess their potential. But now Toyota is stepping into the spotlight, boldly advancing its plans for a water-powered vehicle, and this time there's real science behind it. With global influence, a strong reputation, and deep resources, Toyota has what it takes to transform the idea of water-fueled transportation from wild speculation into an everyday reality. We could be standing at the threshold of an entirely new era. So why is Toyota taking this leap? The company is fighting to maintain its leadership in a world shifting rapidly towards clean technologies and electric mobility. Competitors like BYD and NIO from China are flooding the market with electric vehicles, putting pressure on Toyota to innovate and evolve. That's why they're investing heavily in smarter, cleaner hydrogen technology to stay ahead in the race for sustainable transportation. Looking back, the long trail of failed water-powered car experiments shows how tough the journey has been. But the global push for cleaner energy is very real. Toyota has already made progress with its hydrogen-powered Mirai, which is on the roads today and proves the company is committed to a green future. And if what's coming next is any indication, the journey has only just begun. Let's take a look at the heavyweights in the electric vehicle race. Right now, China and the United States are leading the charge. China has gone all in on EVs, investing massive sums into charging infrastructure and manufacturing facilities, making it the largest electric car market on the planet. Automakers like BYD, NIO, and XPeng are pushing the industry forward, backed by generous government incentives, an extensive charging network, and world-class production capabilities. Determined to tackle pollution and reduce carbon emissions, China has enforced strict regulations that strongly favor electric vehicles. As a result, millions of EVs are hitting the roads each year, and the country's continued focus on better batteries and wider charger access keeps it ahead as a global EV powerhouse. Meanwhile, in the United States, major players like Tesla are making waves in the EV space. Under Elon Musk's leadership, Tesla has revolutionized the industry with stylish designs, cutting-edge technology, and its vast supercharger network. They're constantly raising the bar with advancements in battery performance and extended driving ranges. And it's not just Tesla anymore. Traditional automakers like General Motors and Ford are also stepping into the game, launching new electric models and pouring billions into EV development. But here's the catch. Despite their achievements, both China and the US face significant challenges. Producing and disposing of EV batteries takes a toll on the environment, and powering those cars requires access to clean energy sources. That's where Toyota's water-powered innovation enters with a refreshing alternative. Rather than depending on large lithium-ion batteries like most battery electric vehicles or BEVs, Toyota is exploring a different route: hydrogen fuel cells powered by water. This is a game changer because it completely avoids the environmental downsides of traditional battery production. Instead of generating toxic waste or greenhouse gases, Toyota's water-powered engine emits nothing but clean water vapor, no carbon dioxide, no smog-forming pollutants. It's a breath of fresh air compared to conventional fossil fuel vehicles that spew harmful emissions into the atmosphere. Hydrogen fuel cells also bring some major advantages over standard EV batteries. For starters, refueling a hydrogen tank takes just a few minutes, a huge benefit for long road trips or anyone who doesn't want to sit around waiting for a battery to charge. Plus, hydrogen is incredibly energy-dense compared to lithium-ion batteries, meaning you can go further on a single tank while keeping the vehicle lighter. But here's what really sets it apart. Hydrogen can be produced using clean, renewable energy sources like solar, wind, or hydropower, making the entire system even more eco-friendly. Toyota isn't just stopping at the idea, they're actively solving the tough engineering challenges too. One major breakthrough is their development of ultra-efficient electrolysis units, advanced devices that convert water into hydrogen while using less energy. These units rely on cutting-edge materials and catalysts to streamline the process, laying the foundation for scalable hydrogen production. As for storage, Toyota has got that handled too. They've designed lightweight yet incredibly strong tanks made from advanced composite materials. These tanks are built to withstand high pressures and are equipped with state-of-the-art sensors and safety systems to detect and prevent leaks before they even happen, ensuring both efficiency and security on the road. But what about freezing temperatures? Hydrogen can solidify in extremely cold conditions, which might impact performance. Fortunately, Toyota has already tackled that issue. They've integrated smart heating elements and insulation into their hydrogen storage systems, ensuring that the vehicle keeps running smoothly no matter the weather. This makes Toyota's hydrogen-powered cars adaptable and reliable no matter the weather. Toyota is also fully committed to sustainability by producing hydrogen using clean energy sources like solar, wind, and hydropower. The result? A vehicle with an almost non-existent carbon footprint, making it one of the greenest modes of transport available. But Toyota's dedication to eco-friendly innovation isn't new. They've been pioneers in this space for years, leading the way with hybrid technology and continually exploring alternative fuel options. One exciting area they're working on is cleaner hydrocarbons. Traditionally, hydrocarbons, like gasoline and diesel, are major culprits of carbon emissions. Toyota, however, is developing synthetic hydrocarbons and biofuels as more sustainable alternatives. Synthetic hydrocarbons are created by combining carbon dioxide with hydrogen, essentially reusing CO2 and reducing the overall carbon output. On the other hand, biofuels are produced from renewable resources like plants, animal waste, algae, and other organic matter. Because these materials can be replenished, biofuels offer a much gentler impact on the environment. Toyota has been investing heavily in improving biofuel technologies and integrating them into their vehicles. The goal is to find practical, short-term ways to reduce emissions while the global infrastructure for hydrogen fueling and EV charging continues to expand. But that's not all. Toyota is also a major force in fuel cell technology. At the core of their green mobility vision are hydrogen fuel cells, which generate electricity by combining hydrogen gas with oxygen. The only byproduct? Pure water vapor. It doesn't get much cleaner than that. Toyota's journey with fuel cell tech began back in the 1990s, and they've made remarkable strides since then. Their current fuel cells are more compact, more efficient, and more cost-effective thanks to innovations in materials, stronger membranes, and smarter engineering. Here's a cool fact: Toyota holds over 5,000 patents related to fuel cell technology, covering everything from system design to hydrogen production and storage. It's a clear sign of how deeply invested they are in securing the leading role in the future of clean transportation. One of the standout milestones in that journey is the Mirai, which means future in Japanese. Launched in 2014, the Mirai became the world's first mass-produced hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. It represents Toyota's bold vision for sustainable driving, wrapped in a sleek, futuristic design. Since its debut, the Mirai has received continuous upgrades, underscoring Toyota's commitment to advancing this groundbreaking technology. The Mirai operates on a hydrogen fuel cell system that creates electricity by blending hydrogen with oxygen. Its setup includes a fuel cell stack, the heart of the power system, high-pressure hydrogen tanks, an electric motor to store excess energy. The end result? A vehicle that produces electricity and emits only water vapor, nothing more. One of the Mirai's most impressive features is its range and refueling speed. It can travel over 300 miles on a full tank of hydrogen, on par with many gasoline-powered vehicles. And the best part? Refueling takes just 5 minutes. That's far faster than waiting around to charge a typical electric car, making the Mirai an ideal choice for eco-conscious drivers who don't want to compromise on convenience. Environmentally, the Mirai is a big win. Since it only emits water vapor, there's no harmful exhaust polluting the air or contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. Toyota is making a strong push to get the Mirai into more hands, streamlining production methods to cut costs and ramping up manufacturing to make it more affordable. They're also partnering with other companies to expand the hydrogen refueling network so drivers won't struggle to find a place to fill up. But Toyota's hydrogen ambitions go far beyond just the Mirai. They're bringing this clean technology to buses and trucks, proving hydrogen's potential for both public transit and heavy-duty applications. These vehicles offer a cleaner alternative for urban transit and commercial logistics, cutting emissions on a much larger scale. Toyota's long-term vision centers on creating a truly sustainable future, combining cutting-edge vehicles with the right refueling infrastructure and clean energy sources. But how exactly does the magic of hydrogen power work? It's actually pretty fascinating. In hydrogen fuel cell vehicles like the Mirai, hydrogen from the tank is combined with oxygen from the air in a chemical reaction that generates electricity, which then powers the car. It's a smart and environmentally friendly way to hit the road. A key component of this process is a device called an electrolyzer. This nifty gadget is responsible for splitting water, which is made up of hydrogen and oxygen atoms, into its basic elements using electricity. It works by sending an electric current through two metal electrodes submerged in water. As the current flows, hydrogen is drawn to the negatively charged electrode, the cathode, while oxygen heads to the positively charged one, the anode. The result? Pure hydrogen and oxygen, no pollutants or harmful byproducts. That hydrogen is then fed into the car's fuel cell, where it's converted into electricity that powers the motor and turns the wheels. A power control unit manages the flow of electricity from both the fuel cell and the onboard battery, ensuring smooth acceleration and energy-efficient braking. Inside the fuel cell stack, hydrogen and oxygen combine in a clean reaction that generates direct current power, which an inverter converts into alternating current to drive the motor. And when you hit the brakes, the motor acts like a generator, recapturing energy from the slowdown and feeding it back into the battery, boosting overall efficiency. Of course, electrolysis isn't a flawless process. Older systems converted only about 60 to 70% of the energy into hydrogen, with the rest lost as heat. But thanks to advancements in materials, improved catalysts, and smarter designs, modern electrolyzers can now reach efficiency rates of 80% or more. Once the hydrogen is produced, the fuel cell converts it into electricity with about 50 to 60% efficiency. When you put it all together, from water to wheels, the entire system operates at around 40 to 50% overall efficiency. Sure, 40 to 50% efficiency might not sound impressive at first, but here's the kicker. Hydrogen holds a ton of energy, which means fuel cell vehicles, like Toyota's, can often go farther than most battery electric vehicles on a single fill-up. And Toyota isn't just stopping at cars. Under their bold slogan, "Let's change the future of cars," they're launching a wave of innovative technology to evolve from a traditional automaker into a full-fledged mobility company. Toyota's vision for hydrogen is ambitious, and they're putting everything behind it. They're forecasting that by 2030, hydrogen will take off in a big way, especially in regions like Europe, China, and North America, with the global fuel cell market expected to reach around 5 trillion yen, roughly 5.7 billion pounds per year. To stake their claim in this booming market, Toyota is rolling out a game plan packed with big moves. Starting in July 2024, they'll launch a cutting-edge hydrogen factory that brings research, development, production, and sales all under one roof. This all-in-one setup will speed up innovation and keep every part of the process tightly aligned for maximum efficiency. Their strategy has 3 core pillars. First, they're expanding into key markets like Europe and China with region-specific technologies tailored to local needs. Second, they're joining forces with top-tier partners to reduce costs and make fuel cells more accessible. And third, they're doubling down on next-generation fuel cell systems, aiming to cut fuel cell stack costs by 50% and reduce next-gen system expenses by 37%. If they hit their goal of selling 200,000 units annually by 2030, they say production costs could fall another 50%, paving the way for profitability while keeping both customers and climate-conscious governments on board. Toyota's also taking on the high cost of hydrogen head-on, teaming up with partners to streamline how it's produced, transported, and used. One standout project? In Thailand, they're turning chicken manure and food waste into biogas to generate hydrogen, an impressively green and innovative approach. They've joined forces with Mitsubishi, Koka, and Toyota Tsusho Corporation to push hydrogen technology even further. Drawing on expertise from the Mirai, they've developed a new water electrolyzer to efficiently produce hydrogen and created a versatile multi-tank system that can be installed in a wide range of vehicles, even retrofitting older models to run on hydrogen power. For heavy-duty transport, Toyota's working on hydrogen-powered trucks, aiming to standardize tank sizes to cut costs and boost compatibility. They're also testing liquid hydrogen tanks and have introduced a hydrogen engine vehicle in Japan that's already certified for public roads, a major milestone toward carbon-neutral driving. And Toyota isn't doing it alone. By partnering globally, they're working to drive down hydrogen prices and expand access, bringing us closer to a future where water really can power your ride. Could this be the beginning of the end for traditional electric cars? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stick around for our next video. You won't want to miss it.